The show that I found most inspiring in some ways was when I got to open for Rez, a direct open slot in the main room of London Music Hall. That was the biggest crowd I've gotten to play for. And so, because it was in London Music Hall as opposed to Rum Runners, there's a slightly different vibe that the crowd gets. And it was the first time that I'd been able to clap and have the crowd clap along with me. So that was a pretty special feeling.
Welcome to Elektribe TV. We're here in Siconic's home studio in London, Ontario. Thanks for having us here today.
Anytime. I've always been musically inclined, not necessarily a talented musician, but I tried from a young age. And then I got to the point where I was having a lot of trouble writing songs when I used to play guitar in high school, and enjoyed just doing covers, but felt like I couldn't perform when I wasn't playing original music. And then I discovered DJing, and a big aspect of that is playing other people's music. So I think that got me into it, and then once I started discovering the complexity of the music, then I started figuring out how to make my own stuff.
What would you say is one of the most inspirational shows that you've been a part of?
Some of the smaller venues, they've forced me to hone my craft a little bit differently. Because as much as it's awesome playing in London Music Hall in front of a big crowd, because it's a bigger crowd, there's some of that, crowd mentality of if somebody's having a good time, it spreads. But sometimes playing for just 10 people at the beginning of the night is a very different challenge, because you have to kind of play music and keep a different eye on the crowd and almost interact with every person individually as you're trying to build the night. So those are really, really special moments too.
What would you say is your brand as an artist?
I think it's shifted a little bit. When I started DJing, I was trying to play more, traditional techno and tech house, because that's what NEC is known for. But I think I've started to kind of shift towards what I would consider a more playful vocal house or tech house and more underground music. It still has a lot of underground elements to it, but there's the vocals, there's a little more instrumentation. It's kind of busier music, so you can enjoy it in a car as well as in a club. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I would say happy fun tech house, perhaps. I don't know.
What kind of a vocalist would you ask to come in on a track with you?
That's tough. I've been working on some things that do involve vocals. So a close friend of mine works with a lot of local rappers. So I've been trying to write a track that I can get some rap lyrics on. I sing as well, so I do vocal samples in some of my music. Some songs that I haven't made under Siconic I sing on, but there's less singing in tech house.
So you also have just begun a collective of musicians, artists who are electronic artists. It's called Outhouse Music Collective.
Yes, it is.
And so why don't you tell us a little bit about that and what you're hoping to do with that endeavor?
There's a lot of interesting artists around London that I feel like don't get quite enough exposure. And we're all trying to market ourselves independently, it seems, on Facebook, so I thought it might be more advantageous to create a collective so that there'd be cross-promotion between artists and help the scene grow a little bit, but we'll see.
You are also a cook, so that's your other hobby. Hobby. Would you call it a hobby?
Well, I don't get paid for it, so yeah. Yeah, I would say it's a hobby. Yeah, but I've always enjoyed cooking. Both my parents cook, and when I was at OER, I actually got inspired to think about cooking more. One of my teachers there who does sound design and audio for pictures, he always talked about how sound design was really similar to cooking, finding different flavors and different sounds and kind of building an overall creation out of all these different elements and spices and whatnot. And that kind of inspired me to design with food as well as with audio.
Siconic will be opening for Walker and Royce on April 14th. In the evening, so make sure you get your tickets for that at Rum Runners.
I think it's just going to be a wicked show. All the people associated with Dirty Bird always have a pretty unique energy at their shows, and so this time we get the duo coming. So in theory it'll be twice as exciting, and I'm not sure if Rum Runners can handle twice the energy that was there last time, but it's going to be It'll be an amazing night.
Now, this is the way the plan will work.
Yeah.
So thanks for having us over to your home. This was amazing, and it was great to chat with you. I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Would you like to say anything else to the listeners at home? Thank anybody.
Just thanks for checking out the Elektribe TV, and come see me when I play sometime.
Thanks, everyone.